So chapter 14 and 15, and then we're finished. Can you believe it? So this is community agencies, medical settings, and specialized clinical settings. Very interesting because it's helping you to understand these different settings and roles you can play, which will help you with that one of the last reflections you have about the different roles that we have and settings that we work in. So understand how community mental health centers have evolved and the services that are often provided in these settings. Be able to describe the various levels of care offered by psychiatric services in hospitals. And then I want you to know about the additional services provided by clinical mental health counseling in medical settings, including cancer support services and Alzheimer's, dementia, and other specialized clinical settings in which we work: hospice, substance abuse treatment, child and family services. Sky's the limit. So the evolution of the community mental health center, it started, you remember, prior to 1963, people were put into the institutions, and it was not a very lovely experience. Still not a lovely experience. I often think we should do a field trip to the hospital. Of course, we can't right now. I am working on my substance abuse class being able to zoom in for drug court. But anyway, in enactment of the Community Mental Health Centers Act, started to deinstitutionalize people with chronic and severe mental illness. Now we could talk about how you feel about that, because we used to, even in the 80s, approximately 40 days in an institution. And at this point, it's 7 to 10, and we've had a lot of issues with stabilization. We have a lot of people that are in and out of jail, and the jails are really monitoring it. And community mental health centers are just overrun. It's 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 not a great situation. But states have community mental health centers. That's like Pathways, East Alabama Mental Health, and they are expected to provide a continuum of care to all Americans in need of mental health services for free. I mean, they try to get money from you at some point, but really it's free. There are 5 core elements of service for these community mental health centers. So let's talk about those. So the goal is outpatient. The goal is to see the client once a week, have a psychiatrist who prescribes meds, a counselor, a social worker, or both who work with this client. That's what happens at Pathways. And I think there's 4 therapists on staff right now. And so if you think about serving the needs of this population, I think that is really problematic. Also, they have day programs where clients come for the day, and they do things like psycho-ed, they do life skills training, they do career training. Day programs usually have 2 types of service: partial hospitalization and intensive outpatient services. And then, so sometimes the day programs are for developmentally disabled individuals who need somewhere to go during the day. And sometimes that's substance abuse day services, or they have the partial hospitalization. They do consultation and education, substance abuse services, case management and outreach, emergency crisis intervention, acute distress. The services are available 24 hours, the crisis lines, medical crisis units, walk-in treatment. They don't have that there. I think they do have second seasons, and I think they moved that to Noonan. In fact, I know they did. I think everything except the outpatient is in Noonan. Outpatient mental health. So that is a hospital for detox. They're often really important that you know where all of those things are and how to utilize those. So they do everything. They do outreach. In our town, they actually do drug court treatment. So
Before we may go further into the PowerPoint, it is important for you to understand what an assertive community treatment, what assertive community treatment is for PAC teams. You have heard of this at Pathways or other community mental health agencies, but it is a team that is designed to help clients in accessing, coordinating, and integrating mental health services. It usually has a variety of disciplines that make up that team, and they carry a smaller caseload, and they're often available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I actually had an old colleague health, the nature and humidity. So if you understand all of these and if you read the chapter, because this is what you're going to in the future, get out this already, all the different services that are, we talked about this, and if you understand all of that, I had to pause and come back to sometimes, I know there were thoughts, but we talked about outpatient, we talked about daycare rooms, and those are very different than outpatient, so inpatient and drug court, and they have to be individual group, and then get a pathways for outpatient services. So that's outpatient and daycare rooms, those are more intensive. They don't need to be there 24 hours, they need to be there for the day. And a lot of times those are developmentally disabled. Also, they do emergency care services, and we talked about that. Which that was good. We usually have like the second seasons for people who are coming off drugs or maybe suicidal. They have substance abuse services, a wide array of, they have groups, they have individual, they have detox, they have family groups, and tons of resources. And like I said, that inpatient facility as well. We usually have some type of treatment, inpatient treatment, but not everywhere has that. So you have to look at the more long-term residential treatment, maybe case management and outreach, case management, where they help clients go to different services. That's what people do inside of practice, but maybe even more so here. A lot of times, the issues are so severe and they don't have the basic needs met, so there's living decision work. Education and consultation. You support family members, you educate the community, you do separate ed groups, residential programs. And we're talking about community mental health, but there's also residential programs in hospitals, in rural drugs, for inpatient treatment facilities for mental health, and they are inpatient facilities for substance abuse, and they can be short-term, long-term, but they're staffed and they lock down units. If you involuntarily commit someone to going to the hospital and they can't leave for 3 days, so it's really most of those units are locked down and staffed, and we have medical staff, and so it's new work and all like that. Of course, there are services when you're in an inpatient hospital. The state mental hospital in the state is less than 8 days, unfortunately, at this stage, and I did want to write that down for us to have a discussion about that, about the length of stay in the hospital. Labor cost is a problem, I do too. I think it is a big problem for us in that people need longer to see the lives, especially with severe mental illnesses. And we also continue to give patients very traumatic responses to mental illnesses. So it can be extremely traumatic for them to go to the hospital. That's hard. And also not getting what they need and not seeing a lot of things. When we talk about direct and indirect services, clinical mental health counselors provide services that focus on the promotion of mental health and prevention, as well as treating mental disorders and dysfunction. Our direct services are going to be client community, and we teach them teach. You teach, you teach groups, you teach community, and then you offer counseling and crisis intervention, and you do outreach programs for people. And indirect services are helping local communities organize positive change, take action on policies that can change mental health, advocate for underserved populations, and consult with therapies helping networks. And this is really related to what your job description might encompass in community mental health. Dr. Powers is an excellent resource for you to talk to about this if this is what you're interested in, or the site that you're interested in going to. It's very high pressure in these agencies because you have a productivity level, which is the number of billable hours that you're responsible for, and you have a ton of paperwork to do. Biopsychosocial notes, it's insane. But good learning, and I say do it. There's great training for you. I never did it, and I do sometimes feel I lack in that area, but it was spoiled. I was a female feels elsewhere. Um, as far as not ever having to go into that world, but it's not that I wasn't in it. Drug court was the same clients that are in drug court, but I didn't have that discouragement. I never had productivity on me, and so that can be really stressful. And then you have some major things that you start to think about. And then you might do an inpatient like a hospitalization. There's all sorts of different units that you could work in hospital and healthcare settings. We will see more of this. I will tell you there's a huge push to get there. You guys are already in schools. Most of our students are working in schools as professional counselors. That's a big thing in the past couple of years. Also, private practice, primary care doctors, hospitals are really starting to increase the counseling days. We are probably going to see in, I would say, primary care physicians and OBGYN's office soon. And I think we'll be part of it here too, especially since the pandemic. I think we will start to see our fields open up in ways we've not had before. But you can work in hospitals, you can work in intensive outpatient programs, you can work in substance abuse or other severe mental illness or developmental disabilities. You may work in a cancer patient experience, memory assessments, and dementia. So hospice, nursing homes, and there are a lot of different places, especially you guys may be in this season adjustments with palliative care, hospice, substance abuse issues, substance abuse treatment programs. We talked a lot about addiction. We have a whole class coming in. Domestic violence, which is now intimate partner violence. There it is, IPV. This is just something that you're going to see no matter what area you're in. It's pretty prevalent, I would say, and it definitely doesn't discriminate. Sometimes our lens looks at that and thinks that only certain people are victims of that, but it's most certainly anyone and everyone that can be a victim of this. It's women are more likely than men to be victims. 3 in 10 women and 1 in 10 men have experienced rape, physical violence, or stalking. There's a conservative estimate, so you can only imagine how many hearts you will have that come into that. In addition to the IPV issue and intimate partner violence, domestic violence includes abusive treatment of elders and children, and witnessing violence by children. All victims of violence have an increased risk for mental health, as evidenced by case studies. We talked about other aspects of how they experience studies. It is important for you to understand how to treat this. There's a national coalition against domestic violence. It's important to understand all the categories of abuse and who batterers are. What are the symptoms? I would suggest that you look at the power control wheel. In fact, I'll pull that up for you. Okay, here it is right here, the domestic violence power control wheel. If you take a look at this, you can just Google it, guys, but if you take a look at it and you look at the pie chart here, these are the questions that you can ask to determine if someone is a victim of intimate partner violence. I'm turning the window right. It's not just physical, it's not just sexual, it's also emotional. And most of the time, the clients come in, I specialize in this because it's something I've done for years. Most of the time, they don't know that they are a victim of that because they're so used to it, they might have grown up in it. They may just be a victim of emotional abuse and not understand that that's abuse because they're not hitting them. But look over here, using emotional abuse, putting people down, making people feel bad about themselves, calling names, making them think you're crazy, I'm just crazy, that didn't happen, putting my names, humiliating them, making them feel guilty, any kind of intimidation, isolation. You see a lot of people intimate partner violence, so they start to isolate their significant other. Minimize the abuse, economic, not being that close to anything. Many people look at other types of resources, so just print this out. Print this, add it to the belief model, so you know what to look for services are available. How do you treat them? Right now, I am working with veterans. And really, because also, we want, it makes sense to me. And talked on this, I've been addressed up to a couple of times about this. And I said, why are we, we need to treat, of course, to support the victims and protect the victims. But my goodness, if we don't treat the aggressor, the batterer, how are we going to go to a better place? I mean, yes, some of them are notifying and you're off the way, but there are others that we could help. And I do now, and it is, it's fun, and I can share more about that in class, because it's very educational. Really good data, but the DSA and the characteristics of their childhood trauma, they do quite similar to me. But anyway, it's so long between the deaths, but I know children something that's young and really supposed to be. Sometimes I write notes and then I'm on my journal, and then I can't remember all the cool stuff I would have been to guys. Know about abuse, know about physical, sexual, emotional abuse, necessity, because then I already talked about patterns, who are they that really does, that's who they are. A lot of them we already know, like I said, all this, and I remember, quite complex, very complex, probably always have usually childhood trauma as well, but also is exacerbating for these systems and why it's know all these. I mean, I'm going to do a case study over time on that. Very important. Every bit of the chapter, every bit. And if you touch it, ask me, because you need to know every bit in the chapter. Services available. What are the services that are available? What are you going to do? How are you going to help somebody with something? And when you're home based